Hello everyone. So in this part of our second tutorial, we will gonna start to write our first program using ReactJS. So to start with, right, if we go to ReactJS and then from installation to create a new React app, we can see, right, if we come to the section of the command toolchain, um, if for learning we can use this npm package called create react app. There are other options also, right? If you are using server-side rendering, we can use Next.js. For static content oriented website, we can use Gatsby. There are other flexible options as well, so which we can explore I think later stage. Since we just started this course, we can use this create react app. So create react app is nothing but is a npm library provided by react.js team to get started with a project just by writing a small command like npx create react app. It is recommended that you have at least node version more than 10.16 and npm version more than 5.6. So let's start. Go to the terminal and see how to create a new single page application, right? So if I open my terminal, I can see that my node version is 12.16 and my npm version is 6, so we are good to go. This create react app, there is two way you can do it, right? After I think npm more than version I think 10, you can use npx. Otherwise you had to install create react app this library as a global. So if you have like old version of your npm, I can show you like you can go to npm.js and see the create react app is already here. So I would recommend you to use the npx, so you don't need a global installation. So you can go to your folder, right? I will create a application, right? Let's say we name the directory as react.js, and then we can write cd, then we can say right my app. If we hit, it will create our first application and it will download all the packages from the remote repository. uh, However, if you see that for me it is using yarn, this is another package manager you can use also. It's same as react.js, but I think these are some good feature which npm doesn't have, so I prefer to use yarn compared to react npm. Let's wait until the installation is done. Meanwhile we can see, right, so let me explain about this thing called JSX. So JSX is nothing but similar to JavaScript, but what we do is like we write our HTML inside our JavaScript. So they have some special syntax where we can write our HTML itself into the JavaScript itself. That's how we create our React.js application. I think we are done. Yep. So let's go to our my app and we can write npm start, and then it will start our application on localhost 3000. So this is our application already started. If we inspect, we can see our application loaded with normal basic HTML tag, but let me open the code for you uh, in VS Code. I hope that you have already installed VS Code in your machine, so we can start writing code together. So initially this whole project might look very weird if you are coming from like backend, or this is just a new framework you want to learn, but bear with me, we can run through each of the thing which will make this thing more simple. So just ignore this file setup test and everything. So the base startup of this app start from here itself. So remember, on our first tutorial we used something like this, the static mode, and then we had this app, and this app was coming from another JS file, and this is something they do. There is one more public folder, if you see, which will have a index.html, and if you see that it has a deep ID of root. So what happened is, in the runtime of this application, the JavaScript file, whatever we write here, it built into a simple JS file and then injected into this index.html. And from the index.js, if you see that it is looking for an element called root, which is nothing but this root element, and this append whole thing to this root element. That's how it run the whole JavaScript. And in JavaScript the syntax is like very simple. You write a function and you return something from the function itself. We'll learn how to write this function and everything, but these are like basic HTML syntax. I hope that makes sense for you. One more thing is, in React we use class name, whereby previously if you use HTML we used to use only the class, and the CSS is imported like a normal plain CSS, which you can see here. So I think that's it from this tutorial. We'll see you in the next tutorial.